Even though we did that already, but okay, so I'm coming. So my lesson for today that I wanted to talk about is my title of my lesson is called Breaking Generational Curses with the Help of the Lord. Could y'all hear me?
Can you repeat that?
Breaking Generational Curses with the Help of the Lord. Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Yes.
I guess there's nobody not saying nothing. So
I think we probably muted ourselves so we can hear you clearly.
okay. So I'm a little nervous. So I'm going to read out of Exodus right now, and it's chapter 20, verse 5 through 6. And before I read this, before this, so I can explain it. The people in Exodus, they was praising like cows and stuff like that. They wasn't praising God. They was not praising God. They went into, he got them out the wilderness, and they start not praising him. They started praising other things. So with this is why we have generational curses now. So you should not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord, am a jealous God, punishing children for the sins of the parents to the third and fourth generation. 6, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. So for me, what he was saying was pray. So this is like a point. So pray, put in work, ask God for forgiveness. So because of the what our parents do, the parents before them, they do before them. So going way back, way back. The reason why a lot of us is going through what we going through, we think it's because of us. Some stuff that we go through is based on what happened way before we was even born, way before we even got here. And in order for our kids not to go through with what they went through, we need to pray and ask for forgiveness in order for our kids not to go through the things that our past generation has went through. And effects of sins are naturally passed down from one generation to the next. So I said, watch what you say or do in front of your kids, because most likely they will do what you do and not what you say. We all know that saying, I'm grown. Do what I told you what to do. You do what I do. Don't do what I do. Do what I tell you to do. And we know that is not how life works. You just because you telling me something, most likely I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do what I see you doing. Which one of my things that I'm working on that I want to break is fussing, aka like screaming, yelling and screaming is something that I want to break. I don't want to scream at him. I don't want to yell at him. Only when necessary, meaning like if he's about to do something that you know, and I'm like, now why did you do that? You know, why are you touching a hot stove? Before it's like, you're making me mad. Get out of my face right now. Like that, I don't want to do, and I don't want him to pass that on to his kids, and they pass that on because screaming and yelling, literally, it do make you feel like you are worthless in a way, without us realizing that you don't realize how screaming at somebody can affect them. And we saying, oh, sticking stones man break your bones, but words would never hurt. In real life, words really do hurt, and people take on words for life, and they pass some of those words down instead of uplifting. They belittle their kids, and they put that in their kids, and sometimes, if we can see, it cause mental health issues. So, and here's another point. It's Exodus again. So I'm pretty much showing y'all different words in the Bible where it's talking about generational stuff. So Exodus 34:7, mentioning love to to 1,000 for forgive. Oh, I'm sorry. To 1,000 for forgiving wickedness, rebellion, and sin, yet he does not leave out the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children and their children for sins of parents to third and fourth generation. So that's again talking about because of the parents, because of the sins of the parents, it's going now, it's trickling down. God is punishing the kids, but it's a way that with God help that he can remove those curses, those generational curses, which is how to cure generational curses. One must cry out to God. Judge this 3 chapter 3 verse 9. But when the people of Israel cried out to the Lord raised up a deliverer for the people of Israel who saved them. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this word correctly. Othnil. Othnil. Oh, how do I say that? Othen. I don't know how to pronounce that word. It's a name.
Spell it. What was it again, Nisha?
Othnil.
I believe it's Othniel.
Oh, so I was saying it right in my head. Othniel, son of
Niel.
Yes, ma'am. I think it was pronounced who just pronounced it, said it correctly. Othniel.
Othniel.
Son of Kenza, Caleb's younger brother who saved them. So God would, so on this is saying that God will bring people in your family who will break the generational curses. Like for me, I believe I'm one of those people in my family who just gonna talk about it, who our family deal with a lot of mental issues. Our family deal with suicidal thoughts, depression, and things of those nature. Me, I'm one of them who dealt with being depressed, dealing with anxiety. Sorry, having suicidal thoughts. But for me, I cried out. Like I asked y'all for prayer. I would walk down the aisle every day, almost just about. When I was having those suicidal thoughts, I cried out and finally vented out and said that I needed help. Far as my brother go, he actually did what he did, but luckily God seen fit to save his life for whatever reason. Which beforehand I was in therapy before that anyway, but ended up going back. Which the Friday was actually my last day in therapy. I graduated. So
Wonderful. Yay.
So I know that I want to break generational curses in our family dealing with mental health. And I believe by me speaking out about it, by me saying the things that I've been through. And I know for a fact that God has helped me because I used to pray like I used to pray every day, every night. Just I used to pray and ask God not to let me be here. Honestly, I did. Until I just realized like apart once I kind of had Kate, I still had that thought one day I did night, and then the next day at church I just remember just going down the aisle and talking about it. I remember First Lady praying for me, and I remember Mother Dinkin praying for me, and from then on I knew I wanted to be here, even though I still had little moments. um and I knew I was here for a reason. I just don't understand it. But now that I'm just going through everything that I've been going through, I realize part of the reason why I am here is to help other people and to talk about mental health issues and to learn how to not be toxic and how to um realize, like, have a mirror shown at us and realizing, oh, we need to work on this. I need to fix this about myself. And I might not be perfect, but I know with God help that I can get through this. And I know that my family or my family won't have to deal with this. My son won't have to deal with not wanting to be here. He won't have to deal with suicidal thoughts. His son or his kids won't have to deal with it, and so on. Therefore, so hopefully, I'm one of the women in our family who can break this cycle of mental health, or at least recognize it and realize that we need help. Because I remember not being funny and not saying, when you in our community, the black community, the first thing we say is, girl, ain't nothing wrong with you, or boy, ain't nothing wrong with you, you not crazy, go pray. We do tell, that's what we say. But realizing that God literally made doctors for a reason. He made us to have medicine for a reason. And yes, prayer does work, but sometimes we need prayer and we also need medicine, or we need counseling, and we do. But a lot of stuff I kind of realized after reading this. I don't know who put the book in my bag, the winning our spiritual battles. Thank you for that book, because it kind of helped. It was pretty much talking about mental health issues in the book, and a lot of it come from the unseen, which I kind of know now what it's talking about. It's talking about spiritual warfare. So a lot of the spiritual curses honestly was because of Adam and Eve, and it's just talking about spiritual warfare, the unseen. So we start to believe the stuff, which is really like a demon, a spiritual, demon that we can't see, really the devil, playing on our emotions, and us starting to really believe that because of we feel unworthy, we feel unloved, we feel this and we feel that. And most of us, when you're in a dark place, it's kind of hard for you to cry out to God, because we feel like in that, well, for me, when I used to feel like that, in that moment I'm like, well, maybe I sin too much, so God ain't gonna hear me. Or maybe I'm why would he love a person like me, especially because I don't even know. I mean, I believe in him, but I don't know if I'm doing everything right. So, of course, with that, that's how it's easy for the devil to get in too when you're not praying, because you're thinking, well, I'm not worthy. God not gonna hear me, but that's a lie. And we have to break generational curses. I believe we have to really teach our kids about God. We have to teach them young. We have to let them know that they are worthy and God do love them. And even though we are sinful by nature, it's just that we have to recognize a lot of things and within ourselves in order for us to break the cycle. Before we can help break the cycle, we must first break the cycle within ourselves, within our inner being. And right here it say Samuel 12, verse 10 through 11. It say God sent people in the family to break generational curses. The cure is to repent. Salvation is through Jesus is how I'm sorry. Salvation through Jesus is how one can break generational curses. And then right here, our our children will also serve him. Future generations will hear about the wonders of the Lord. Psalms 22:30. So I personally, and I'm actually done. I know it wasn't that long of a lesson, but for me, I've just really, my quest in this life, and it's just really I just want us, especially black people, especially us black women, we feel like we have to have the world on our shoulder. We feel like we have to be perfect. We feel like we have to do everything right in order for us to be seen, heard. It feel like it's this thing that I used to hear. They'd be like, well, you not white, you have to be perfect, you have to be better than them, you have to do this, which that's a lot of pressure on us if you really think about that. uh I'm just coming to a conclusion. No, I don't have to be perfect like that, because God already made me who he made me. God made me in his image for a reason. God made me the way I am. I might I might don't talk the way y'all talk. I might not look the way y'all look, but God has put in my heart to come and speak. And I know for a fact that one of my gifts is to speak, and I know for a fact that I'm going to be a motivational speaker. And one of those things is to talk about breaking generational curses. A lot of people talk about generational wealth, but that's all fine and good. I'm here for money, for generational wealth as well, but I want to break generational curses. I want to break people who feel like, oh, I'm an alcoholic because I see my dad drink. Oh, I'm an alcoholic because my grandpa and his grandpa drunk. Oh, I abuse this and I do